right. Ginger Snaps 2.
Still gonna go with that. All right, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2004, after the huge success that Ginger Snaps 1 was, they made Ginger Snaps 2. Um, so I did a little bit of reading on this. Not really. I just looked up the budget, which was 3.5 million. And then its box office debut was $80,000. So somebody lost their ass and probably has not worked since this movie.
I just want to know um what they did with that budget because
It's the
the
prosthetics.
it looks so low.
Yeah.
But even so, the prosthetics like cheap as hell.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea what goes into making a movie. You know what I
Me
mean? Like,
neither.
so like
Cast
the
crew,
camera could have just
insurance.
been, yeah, exactly. Like it could have cost that much to make it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I still feel like somebody pocketed some money on that one because that's a lot of money and that's a really poor showing. But I get why it was such a poor showing
Yeah.
because it was it was an interesting number two.
It was bad. I was let down. It was like I don't know. I could equate it to like you know how they say don't ever meet your heroes or like too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Yeah, yeah,
That there's that one. It's not don't meet your heroes. It's
yeah.
too much of a good thing is a bad thing. And too much of ginger snaps gave me a tummy ache.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm on fire right now. Oh my god.
yeah, yeah, you're killing it. I should just let you go. I'll just sit here quietly.
No, no.
Um, yeah, no, it wasn't great. I mean, it had some like interesting little things in it, but overall the movie did not hold up to the second one. And I don't know, have you watched the third one yet?
I watched part of it.
Like that comes out of nowhere. Like that whole like where'd that idea come from? Why are some of the same actors in it? Like what the hell is even happening? Who thought this would be a good idea?
That's
Like
yeah. Who thought that would be a good idea?
yeah,
Like, let's get colonial.
yeah. Especially after the second one bombed the way that it did. Like the fact that they even made a third one is ridiculous. But
Yes.
yeah, we're not here to talk about the third one. So let's jump into the second one. Dude, with your braids and the blanket on you, you look like a Native American. Like
No.
you look like a medicine woman. Like you're gonna teach me a
No.
lesson. Like,
Oh, goodness.
all
I
right.
thought you were gonna say like a grandma, like I need a hot cup of chamomile tea.
I mean, yeah, like the grandma in the Native American movies that
Oh.
like teaches lessons and stuff. All right. So who or what was your show stealer?
Um, Bridget. She's very hot.
Yeah,
Um,
she got
they,
hot.
they saved money on the wig for her. I'm really glad they got rid of that. Uh, I know why they needed it in the first one, but like she looks better without it.
Yeah,
And all I could think to myself was good for her. So
yeah, yeah.
I was just glad, because the last movie was like she was kind of in her sister's shadow a little bit.
Mhm.
And this movie's like about her. I just wish that like it wasn't so tragic, you know?
Yeah, I mean the ending is really a big bummer. Like it's not the way you would expect that to go.
And I
So
had so many questions throughout the
oh
movie.
yeah.
Like, I
Oh yeah.
remember we were messaging and we're like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
because you had watched it before me.
Yeah.
And I was like, tell me. And you're like, no.
And I was like mildly, yeah, I was acting like there was some big reveal, like, nah, dude, you're gonna love this M. Night Shyamalan twist. And then it's just like, oh, this is This is what you didn't tell me. And then
This
I
was
was
the
like,
twist.
oh, fun fact, I totally figured this thing out. And you're like, yeah, I know.
I knew that. Yeah.
They say it. They literally say it. So you must have not been paying attention to the movie you just watched. I thought I was a genius. I was like, maybe I'm a genius because I figured this little plot line out. And then on the second watch, they blatantly say it right there in the beginning of the movie, and I'm like, word,
What
cool,
was
cool,
it?
cool. The whole thing about like that's her grandma and she set her on fire,
Oh
and
yeah.
and you're like, uh-huh. I was like, all right, cool. Um,
Yeah. What was your show stealer?
um, Ghost. That little psycho is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, I like so there was like so many different layers to her because like all right, first she's you don't realize she's psychotic. She plays like this innocent like young kid that's just stuck in this situation. And then on top of that, she's always talking like poetically. So that's fun when she like dips out of reality. She starts talking in like some fucking old poetry. And then yeah, then she becomes like a complete psycho and is manipulating everybody around her for her own purposes. So yeah, she stole the show for me.
I like had a feeling about her from the beginning. Like especially when she was like fucking with Bridget like outside the door like whispering shit.
Mhm.
I was like, "Nope. Nope. It's giving sinister vibes. I don't know."
Dude, like you can look at her and be like, okay, that's not she's got to be there's got to be something else. Like it's not this first layer that you're showing me. Because anybody with like white hair that is below like 60 is just you can't trust them. I'm calling
Something
it
wrong.
right now. I'm calling it
Yeah,
right now.
something wrong.
All right, so the show Breaker.
Mm.
Since you're chugging, I guess I'll start.
Yeah, go
Um
for it.
the story, the the rest of the movie, like the story, the zero explanation
Oh,
on why where this werewolf came from, why he knows about or why it knows about Bridget, like why she's opposed to mating with him. She's like, I know she doesn't want to be a werewolf, but she is. So like you might as well have some
yeah.
pups, I guess. And on top of just the movie in general, that group masturbation scene was the most awkward fucking thing I've ever seen in any movie like that. Like I would rather watch another 30 minutes in Ginger Snaps 1 of just like period blood stuff than to witness that fucking weird situation that was happening.
Yeah, 100%. It felt like whoever wrote the script for that had just watched Girl Interrupted.
Let's
Um
see who wrote that. Megan Morton.
okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like sounds like a name.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, yeah,
Um
yeah.
you know, my showbreaker, I wrote down whole thing.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like right there with you on that.
yeah. It's like I when I first watched it and we were messaging about it, I was kind of like, all right, yeah, okay, this is kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like this is fun. And
Mhm.
then the second rewatching, it was like the filter was gone. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Yeah. And it just got like very gross with like I assume the guy's name is Tyler. He looks like a Tyler. Like his grossness throughout the movie and stuff. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
like
the male nurse
yeah,
who was like sneaking drugs and shit into the girls for sexual favors
yeah.
um was just really gross, very not cool.
But
And
also still kind of like okay, it's a weird way to put it, but I can't think of anything that would like move this along faster, but still had like the redeeming quality of like actually trying to take care of them in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so what's this story arc? You set him up to be this piece of shit this whole time. And then at the end, I can't tell. Are you trying to make me feel bad for him? Like, are you trying to make him seem like not that bad of a guy? Like, he still got what he deserved, but it was weird. It was like,
Yeah. Yeah, because he like cared for Ghost and stuff, but then
right.
Ghost tricks Bridget
Hmm.
into thinking that like he was molesting her.
Right.
And so Bridget was like, she killed him, right? Yeah, she did. I didn't
No,
remember.
she sent him outside to take care of the generator. Do you not rewatch this? Are you just going off your notes right now? All right, cool. I'm so glad I watched this twice and you didn't.
Somebody had to.
No, we didn't. I could have just went off my notes from last time. But yeah, so she sends him out to do the generator thing, and the other werewolf gets him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I was pissed that we didn't find out who the fuck the werewolf was
Yeah.
because it could have been, there were two guys in the last one, that one dude that Ginger had sex with and transmitted it to him sexually. Like
Hmm.
that guy, cuz he gets like cured, but obviously that's only a temporary fix. And then the other guy, I think Sam
Yeah.
at the end, like who knows? He might not have died. Like,
Right, right.
and low key, I was hoping it was him because there was like, if it was gonna be anybody, I would want it to be him. But
Yeah, I thought that they were going to make Ginger the werewolf. Like, yeah, she stabs her, she stays there, but who knows? Like, she might have like healed or something because apparently they can do that.
mhm,
So the fact that she stabbed her in the stomach or whatever and she died doesn't even make sense because they heal in like 20 minutes from deep cuts, apparently, from what they're saying in this. So she could have healed in like a couple of hours when nobody was paying attention. Or who knows how that the end of the first one actually resolves with like the family. There's a werewolf in the basement. She used to be our sister. It's a sad hood movie. Like, what is happening right now? So like we don't even know how that really wrapped up, but I still was like thinking like maybe Ginger will be the werewolf and she's like, nah, fuck you, bitch, you stabbed me. And
mhm.
she's like coming for her. But yeah, no explanation thing, like it just bums me out.
They could have honestly like picked it up right where it left off, and I
Yeah,
think that would have answered more fucking questions. But
yeah,
no, they didn't do that because like who fucking
no,
knows
they
like
did.
how long she's been dosing herself with those air bubble needles. Like
Yeah, the air
still
bubble
didn't
needle.
fucking learn anything about
Yeah,
that.
right.
No
Yeah.
one on that set was shooting dope, which I guess is good, but Jesus.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Requiem for a Dream was out by this point. Like everybody knew how to shoot dope that had seen movies.
yeah,
So like
whether they
that's just
wanted to know or not, they knew.
right. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see what else is there. The only so like normally we do FX. We just mentioned the FX are pretty butt in this. Like
Mhm.
it's like Halloween City style FX.
Yeah,
Though the werewolf at the end looked way better than Ginger's werewolf.
that's what I'm
Like
saying. Way
way
better.
better. Yeah, that might be where the 3.5 million went because that one looked actually really good. Um, did you have anything that you wanted to talk about with the effects, like special effects and stuff?
No, I mean the way they filmed it, it kind of reminded me of like how they filmed Mothman Prophecies. Um,
Yes.
there was no like they did certain shit with the camera that like reminded me of it. I don't know if it
Yeah.
was like a red, they did the red filter thing.
Yeah.
Um, and there was no aesthetic in this movie except just like dirty. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was dirty
The
and grungy. There was nothing like pleasant about that aesthetic that like roped you in like the last one with the purples and the oranges. Like there wasn't, I don't know.
yeah, this one was very is very 2000s. It was like a product of its time. Like it felt just like every 2000s horror movie.
Yeah.
Um
I would have loved to see the mom in this one.
yeah, yeah, like the mom and dad are looking for her or something. These people just disappeared.
Hmm.
Not even like phone calls like, Bridget, where are you, how, what's going on, do you need money, like nothing, like nothing. This movie sucks. Now that I'm paying attention to it, I'm just like, man, there's so much wrong with this fucking movie right now.
Yeah, they squandered a really good opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, because it could have been cool, especially if they would have just picked up where it left off and just went with
Hmm.
it. Sound, music, score.
Okay, so you know how in the last one there was like butt rock,
Mhm.
and that was kind of cool, for that time period, for what
Yeah.
it was. It was like pleasing,
Mhm.
um, or satisfying, I guess. But like this one had more of like Matrixy vibes.
Hmm.
That's what I wrote down. I was like Matrix question mark because it was like almost like off-brand Great Value Prodigy or something. That's what I got from it. It was just like I don't know.
I mean, that's a fair point. I pinned down the exact sound, the exact music that they used.
Oh
Like
well, what was it?
well, I don't know for sure. It's just my theory, so I shouldn't have started it that way. But um but so I was listening to it, and you know how it's like doing that like weird like phantom-ish like keyboard thing. I was like, I know that. I
Mhm.
know that song. Where have I heard that from? And I kept listening, and it dawned on me this last night when I was watching it, when we were both supposed to be watching it, but only one of us did. I pulled up my phone and I opened up my Apple Music. And I scrolled down and I click on Rob Zombie's first album. And I like scroll through and I'm like, I know it's one of these songs that isn't the hit songs. So like I started going through and it's 99 perversion 99 on his first album. It's like the exact, oh, where's my phone? That that was like
Yeah.
throughout the entire fucking movie. And I was like, oh, you just gonna rip that album off and blatantly use it in your movie. All right, cool. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it just didn't sound good. It didn't sound like the last one at all.
No.
Just rubbed me the
Yeah.
wrong way. I don't know why I put down Matrix. I think it was the opening credit that made it like that for me. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah,
The
I
wrong
just
word for it.
yeah, there's no like, it's not even like none of the music. Like the shitty music from the first one was like a time and place. Like we all, that was like nostalgic. So it was kind of like, yeah, all right, fine. It's like watching Freddy versus Jason and hearing Kill Switch engage, and you're like, all right, fine. Yeah, that did exist, and I
Mhm.
didn't hate it as much as I'd like to pretend I did. So, but like this one's just like shitty fucking random music, and it's like, guys, you had $3.5 million. You could have bought some decent music or just found a local band to write your whole album. Like, whatever. The movie sucked. All right. So, thriller kill.
Kill.
Hmm. Okay.
Kill. It didn't
Yeah.
thrill
Yeah. I mean, it didn't throw me either. So, yeah, kill. Just the ending's so fucking confusing. It's so, it just, yeah. It's super not the way I wanted it to end. And that bummed me out a bunch.
Yeah, I fucking poor Bridget, dude. Like, can't catch a fucking break for real.
Yeah, no shit. All right. I hate this series now. I hate all of them.
No,
just
No, don't say that.
just 2 and 3. Um, would you pay to see it in theaters? I have to ask the question. You didn't have to look at me like that.
I
Um,
mean, honestly, I probably would. But like knowing what I know now, absolutely not. But if I didn't know, then yeah, I probably would.
yeah. Having seen the first one and not knowing about the second one, I probably would have. But knowing what I know, definitely not. Um, what about cult status? You think this might have a cult following?
I think the series in general, like, yeah, but this one, no.
That's exactly what I wrote. Not as an individual movie, but as a series.
Yeah.
All right. How many stars for this thing?
I guess like two.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
it's a 2-star movie.
and I don't know.
I mean, that quote was pretty badass. The Bridget like threw back at Ginger when she's in the bathroom. You know, you didn't watch the movie recently, so you wouldn't know. Um, I'm just gonna lay into that this whole time now.
Go for it. Do it.
Um,
I deserve it.
Bridget's like, I'm stronger than you. And Ginger says, like, that's not how I remember the first 15 years. And Bridget's like, yeah, well, that's how I remember the last 15 minutes of your life. And I was like, oh,
Sick burn, dude.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. Hell yeah. My favorite, like, quote situation was when they were in group therapy and everyone was kind of like dogging on Bridget a little bit at first. And then she finally just like went in it and
Mhm.
like told everyone like what was really going on.
Yeah,
Obviously, no one believed her.
right.
And then the doctor or whatever the fuck the counselor just writes down in her journal lesbian.
Yeah, with
Lesbian
question
question
marks
mark?
and underlines it and shit. And I'm like, wow. Did you guys get coupons to this fucking place? Like, what are these professionals? Do we need to do number 3?
I was gonna ask you that.
I'm good on number 3. I saw it the one time. I don't want to have to watch it again, and then you not watch it again, and then
Hey,
sit here and shit on that one too. Like, all right, so definitely not number 3.
no. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.